leading a healthy lifestyle doesn't have to be as complicated and challenging as you may think. I am so excited to share with all of you today 7 health hacks that are truly so simple yet life-changing that can have a huge impact on your life. Hi there, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life. However, everything we do here in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist, as I'm a holistic nutritionist and a nutritional practitioner. My whole entire approach to health and wellness is making things fit into my very busy lifestyle. I like to keep things simple and clean. And for those of you who are subscribers, I always appreciate the comments that, wow, your recipes are so simple yet so nourishing. That truly means the world to me. That is my entire approach to health and wellness. So I'm so excited to share with all of you these 7 tips and hacks that I truly think can help you make small yet monumental changes in your entire perspective when it comes to health and wellness. My first hack is one that many of you probably expect to hear and have heard me mention multiple times, and that is smoothies. Eating more plants like fruits and vegetables is one of the simplest ways that you can enhance your health. However, a recent nutrition and diet survey found that yes, while we have increased our total consumption of fruits and vegetables, which is very important, we are still only consuming less than 3 portions per day when we should be around 6 to 8 portions per day. And smoothies is what I call my insurance policy. For all of you who are subscribers, you know that I love to classify these as my way to get as much bang for my buck as possible. You throw a ton of nutrition into a blender, you mix it together in a way that is delicious not only for you, but your entire family, and boom, most of the time we've reached 50% of our recommended daily intake of phytonutrients. So it is a great way to not only get in a ton of fruits and vegetables, but also other additives that I love to throw in, like flaxseed oil, flax seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, maca powder, you name it, you can really increase the nutrition of these smoothies. Plus, as a busy mom on the go, smoothies make as a great, fast food. You can throw them into a cup, you can hop in the car, take your kids to school, or any appointments that you need to get to, and it's a really quick and easy way for you to get a ton of nourishment into your body first thing in the morning. So I will link up here in the cards my entire smoothie playlist. I will also have that for you guys in the description box down below, where you can find a ton of inspiration and recipes for your next smoothie. Okay, so my second hack is to know your why. And I ask this to my clients all of the time: is what you're doing currently serving you? I know change is hard, and I get it, but oftentimes when we start to acquire new habits, we can have a lot of resistance to a new approach of eating and a new way of incorporating new healthy foods. So the question I always ask everyone is to know your why. Most of the time, it's because we want to have more energy. We want to stabilize our hormones. We want to prevent disease. We want to release some weight. Oftentimes, it's just that we want to be a healthier, better version of ourselves, not only for us, but for our family and especially for our children. So knowing your why is one of the greatest hacks, because before you go make a decision, so whether that's driving and grabbing quick food or it's grabbing that extra chocolate chip cookie, if you ask yourself your why, and will this nourish you in the moment, and will this nourish you long term? If the answer is no, having that why in the back of your mind and also in your heart is extremely helpful in making the decisions that will benefit you on your trajectory of becoming a healthier version of yourself. Having that deep understanding of your why is critical to our outcome and our success. So knowing that oftentimes we have to change our frame of reference on how we're doing something to get a different outcome can be challenging. And yes, it is all about balance, that 80-20. We have to live our lives, we have to enjoy our lives, but if it's something that we're doing every day and we expect a different outcome and we expect more energy, that's most likely not going to happen. So my second hack of knowing your why and having that with you at all times can be such a life-altering lens to look out of, because it really does change all of the decisions when we have a deeper understanding of why we're making the choices that we are. My third hack is to stack it onto an existing habit. Because habits require a stable context, cues, and something to become cemented into your daily routine, adding a new habit to a pre-existing one can be an absolute key to success. For example, taking your vitamin D drops after your morning coffee. So the coffee is the existing habit, and drinking that habit reminds you of your cue to take your vitamin D. Better yet, you could put your vitamin D drops out the night before next to your coffee mug. I love to do this. When I wanted to start adding in more powders and certain supplements into my coffee, I was actually just pre-scooping them into my coffee cup the night before, because then I didn't even have to think about it. You can also put these packages right next to your coffee cup. In the morning, I always have my warm water with lemon ready to go and set up for me. So I have the mug set next to the tea kettle, which is my cue and reminder to grab the lemon out of the refrigerator to pour into my cup so that I can enjoy it right before I have my coffee. So stacking these habits is really important, because once you're in the routine of doing something over and over again, suddenly that becomes your new normal. And those new habits now become the habits that you're used to doing. Okay, my fourth hack is to make a point of meal prepping, or is what I like to say ingredient prepping. So the concept of meal prepping can feel extremely intimidating, which is why I like to put a twist on it, and I ingredient prep things versus cooking the same thing for lunch for 5 days on the weekend. I like to prepare a big batch of quinoa and lentils and chop and wash all of my produce so that it's ready to go. But when you change your mindset, and this is one thing I work so closely with my clients on. When you change your mindset and you think of it as an act of self-care, which is what I do. On a Sunday, I like to pop open my iPad, watch a YouTube video or a little bit of DVR, whatever it is, listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook, something that brings joy to you. So when you have a reward of having a little bit of alone time in your kitchen, and thus the repetitive reward of having these foods and things prepared for you in your refrigerator, makes you want to continue this habit. So just start with a few things. Maybe it's pre-washing and chopping all of your veggies and having them in the refrigerator, or washing all of your berries and having them ready to go, having your greens set aside and washed and ready for you. Or is it baking up an entire pack of chicken breast or chicken thighs for the week ahead? Find 3 to 4 things that you can prep ahead of time that will truly change how you consume your foods throughout the week. So maybe it's smoothie bags, it's quinoa, lentils. I will share with you guys in the description box down below a quick snapshot of the things I like to prepare on the weekend. And this habit has been such a huge help for me, because I'm not constantly having to come up with meals from scratch. I just like to create meals from what I have prepared in the refrigerator. Then also I know that my produce gets consumed in a timely fashion, and it really does help cut down on waste, because once things are prepared and ready to go, you're most definitely more likely to consume them. So I will link for you guys up here in the cards my playlist for my meal prep and ingredient prep videos. You can give those a watch, and hopefully they'll give you a ton of inspiration. So this next hack is something I feel like that's a little bit different than what you're typically used to hearing, and that is to make magnesium a staple. It is the most common mineral deficiency in the United States, but magnesium is an essential nutrient because it supports our Y-shaped proteins that are produced by our immune system that neutralize harmful bacteria and viruses. Then from a burnout and stress perspective, magnesium helps to calm our nervous system, and it mildly lowers blood pressure, and it quickly relaxes and soothes muscles throughout the entire body. So I often joke with my clients that magnesium is truly nature's Xanax. I've been taking it regularly, and I recommend it to my patients on a daily basis who have trouble with anxiety or sleep, that overall may have panic issues, or something as little just day-to-day stressors, whether that's traffic, kids, activities, running around, things that may happen at work. Just having this ability to have this in your toolkit is so helpful. It's not addictive, it is essential to the body, and I recommend somewhere in a safe dosage of 200 to 400 milligrams at bedtime, or you can add this in the morning in your morning routine as well. And it's also especially good for pregnant moms who have a difficult time with insomnia or pregnancy sleep issues and troubles, because it is absolutely safe and highly recommended during this time. So my 6th hack is sleep. So sleep is key. We know this, and we know through thorough research that if we don't get enough sleep, it will impact pretty much everything in our day. The following day, we are not only going to feel groggy and have lack of energy, but our overall immunity and function is lower. Our mental capacity to handle stress, our overall cognition is definitely reduced, sometimes by up to 50%, just by missing one simple REM cycle. It is, of course, recommended to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, but this is one thing I heavily focus on in my practice because I work with a lot of moms and women, and oftentimes we can't control if we're sleeping throughout the night, the amount of times the baby is waking for a feeding. Oftentimes there's one or multiple children that end up in our bed, but there is one thing we can control, and that is our bedtime. So I encourage us to try our best to be in bed and unwinding and asleep before 11 p.m. That way we are able to catch that first REM cycle. If we unwind and we're asleep by 10:30 or 10:45, we can get that extra stretch of sleep in before any potential night wakings. Just moving up that bedtime ever so slightly can make a huge impact on our overall quality of sleep and not necessarily our quantity of sleep. However, just getting in that extra REM cycle and getting ourselves to bed a little bit early is so helpful for our cognition, our ability to respond to stress, and just overall health and wellness. Rest and recover are vital to our immune system and to our organs, so it is critical that we focus on that sleep. And I know as moms, it is so hard because that is the only time we have, typically with our own alone time, so we do want to stay up a little bit later, but I do encourage you to turn off the TV a little bit sooner, get that extra sleep. And I find that once we accept the fact that we know this won't be forever, that this is a phase, and that we will be able to have a little bit of those late nights, we will have a little bit more flexibility in our schedule as our kids get older, it does feel less daunting to make these types of changes in our schedule. So my 7th hack is to drop the fear of good fat. Quality omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation, and with that, they reduce the risk for chronic disease. However, we have so much more inflammatory fats from omega-6s in the standard American diet that these oxidative oils and processed oils like canola oil and seed oil are highly consumed in our packaged foods. But the science on the right fats is really incredible, and it's showing the ratio of omega-3s to omega-6 acids actually help combat the negative effects of omega-6 fatty acids. So it is critical to consume more omega-3s, especially if you do get quite a bit of omega-6 fatty acids into your diet. It is more important than ever. So the optimal ratio is a 4-to-1 of omega-3s to omega-6s. However, I do like it to be right around 5 to 6-to-1 of omega-3s to omega-6s. So those omega-6s are gonna be soy, canola oil, sunflower oil, which again are in a lot of processed foods, where your omega-rich 3 foods are gonna be walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, wild salmon, sardines, anchovies, pasture-raised eggs, and flaxseed oil are just to name a few of my absolute favorite ways this heart and anti-inflammatory rich omega-3s. I wanna thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, and then leave me a comment in the comment section down below and let me know what was your favorite hack and what you're most excited to incorporate into your diet and lifestyle. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video, and I hope to see you back here next Thursday.